Let's take a look at the conversion graphs questions. Now, you're not allowed to use a calculator for these, and the reason why is because you're getting all the conversions from the graph rather than using a calculator. So what we have on this first question is we have miles along the bottom, kilometers up the side, and we want to convert 5 miles into kilometers. So let's find 5 miles, which is here, and we need to see where it hits the line and then take a reading off to the left. So 5 hits the line here, and that corresponds to 8 kilometers. For B, we're going the other way around, so 24 kilometers to miles. So here is 24. Go across and see where it hits the line, and that hits the line at 15 miles. 30 miles in kilometers. Let's go up at 30, and it looks like it's 2 beneath 50, so that is 48 kilometers, and that makes sense. If 24 kilometers is 15 miles, then 48, which is double 24, should equal double 15, and it does. 32 kilometers is on the side here, so 2 up from 30 is this point here, and that corresponds to 20 miles. And 25 miles, as we go up from 25 miles, and it hits the line at 40 kilometers. Question 2, we've got pounds up the side and kilograms along the bottom. So 5 kilos in pounds, well, here is 5 kilos. As we go up, that is above 10, so I would say that that is 11 pounds. 22 pounds is 2 up from 20, and I would say that corresponded to 10 kilos. And if 5 kilos is 11 pounds, 10 kilos, which is double 5, should equal double 11, and double 11 is 22, so that looks like we've got A and B definitely right. Yeah, I only mention that because sometimes it can be difficult to read the graph, so that is reassuring. 15 kilos in pounds, well, here's 15 kilos. That corresponds to 30, 31, 32, I would say 33 pounds. If there's any doubt, the mark scheme would have a range of acceptable answers. 66 pounds, well, 66 is double 33, so I'd expect it to be double 15, which is 30, so let's just double check. 60, 65, 66, let's go across, and that is absolutely 30 kilos. 25 kilos, we're going to go up, and 25 kilos is just short of 50. I would say that that works out. So actually, let me just double check that again. 25 kilos is, yeah, no, actually it's here, isn't it? So that corresponds to 55 pounds. Question 3, we have euros up the side and pounds along the bottom. As you can see, both the scales are the same, they're going up in fives. So we have 10 faint lines between 0 and 5. So that means for every 2, we're increasing by £1, or every 2 we're going up, we're increasing by €1. So £5 in euros, here's £5. That looks like it corresponds to 2 lines above the 5, so that would be €6. 12 euros, that's 4 lines up from 10, so just 1 down from this slightly darker line, and that works out as £10, and that makes me feel good because 5 times 2 is 10 and 6 times 2 is 12, so that reassures me. £25, that corresponds to 30 euros. 18 euros, so this line here is 17.50, so then one above that is 18, and I would say that works out to be £15. And £20 in euros, here's £20. I'd say that's 2 down from 25, so that is 24 euros. If you're a tiny bit out on any of these, it's probably fine. Here we've got pints up the side, so we're going up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so each faint line is 1 pint, whereas here we're going up in fives, so every 2 lines is 1 litre. So 7 pints in litres, here's 5, 6, 7, kind of hard to tell, but I would say that that is arguably 3.5, but I'm going to call that 4 litres because I prefer whole numbers. 24 litres is going to be 2 to the left of this darker line here, and I would say that that corresponds to, if this is 40, 41, 42 pints. Again, it's very difficult to see. 28 pints, so pints is up the side, so 2 down from 30 is going to be about here. So I would say that that corresponds to 16 litres. Again, if you're half a litre either way, then that's absolutely fine in my opinion. 32 litres, well, what we could do is 32 is double 16, so double 28 is we should be getting somewhere close to 56 pints. Let's just double check this. 30, 31, 32, so it's one line to the left of this thick line here, and that hits there, which is one above 55, which is 56. So that's reassuring. 49 pints is 1 down from 50, and 1 down from 50 looks like it hits just to the right of this line here, which would be 25, 26, 27, that is 28 litres. Again, if you're a tiny bit out on these, I don't think it's really that much of a problem. If there's any doubt, then a marked scheme would accept a range of answers. Question number 5, we've got feet up the side, metres along the bottom. So metres, we're going up in ones, so every faint line is 10 centimetres. Here we are going up in fours, so every sort of mini line is 2. So therefore we are going up in 0.4s, which is a bit confusing. So 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, 1.6, 2. So it's good to establish the scale at the beginning. So we want to convert 10 feet into metres, so 8, 12, so 10 is here. And if we just go across to the line and down, that corresponds to 3 metres. Wilbert's tape measure suggests that 20 feet is equal to 6.5 metres. So let's just take a look at that. Let's go to 6.5 metres. That looks like it's more than 20 feet to me, so no, it's not correct. 20 feet, according to this, is equivalent to, looks like sort of 6.1 or 6.2 metres perhaps. Something along those lines. Let's just double check that. 20, yeah, I would say 6.1 metres. Again, if the mark scheme says 6.2, I'm sure 6.1 is also fine. Wilbert buys a new tape measure which says that 4.5 metres, which is here, is equal to 15 feet. So if we go up at 4.5, do we get 15? Right, this is really hard to say, but we know that we're going up in 0.4. So 16, 15.6, 15.2, so 15 is halfway between these two lines here. And does that equal 4.5? Well, it kind of does. So I would say yes, it's correct. But apparently this is a matter of debate really, so apparently no is also an acceptable answer here. Question number 6, we've got fluid ounces up the side and millilitres along the bottom. So we're going up in 50s on the millilitres and going up in 2s. So that means if we're going up in 2s, then each mini square is 0.4, whereas here we are going every faint line is 5. So what is 4 fluid ounces in millilitres? Well, 4 corresponds to this point here. So if we just take a reading, let's say that is, again, it's very difficult to let's say it's 1 to the left of here. So if this is 125, then this is going to be 120. I believe in the mark scheme anything between 115 and 120 is acceptable, and they believe that 118 is bang on. But it's really hard to get an accurate reading on this one in particular. What is 25 millilitres in fluid ounces? So 25 is here. So we just need to go up, and I would say that it is one line down from the sort of thicker line here. So the thick line is going to be 1. So we're going up in 0.2, so go down 0.2 from 1 is 0.8. What is 200 millilitres in fluid ounces? So here's 200, so that is one line down from here, so this is 7. go back 0.2, so I'd say 6.8, but apparently the mark scheme says 6.7. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get it to that level of accuracy, but 6.8 should be fine. And 300 millilitres, what is that in fluid ounces? It's just a tiny bit more than 10. I would say that was 10.2, or you might argue 10.1. It's really hard to see unless you've got a microscope, so the mark scheme should accept a range. Anyway, I'm going to stay with 10.2, so if you got 10.2 as well, then assume that is absolutely fine. So question 7, we've got dollars at the side and pounds along the bottom. We're going up in fives, so what this means is that every two small lines is a unit of 1, so we're going up in halves, both vertically, or we're going up in 50p's horizontally and going up in 50 cents vertically for each faint line. So how many dollars is £5? Well, £5 is, we just go up from 5 until we hit the line, which looks like it's just 1 beneath 7.50, so I would say that is $7. $14, well, if £5 converts to $7, this is twice as many dollars, so I'm hoping that this is going to turn into £10. Let's just double check. $14 is 2 down from 15, and if we go across, it does look like that converts to £10, which is good. £25, what is that in dollars? So here's 25, we go up to the top, and that is $35. Herman intends to convert £250 into dollars, so we're going to use answer C. Well, if £25 is 35, then 250, well, that is 10 times more pounds, so we're going to get 10 times as many dollars, so that is going to be 350. We want to convert $140 into pounds, and we're using B, so we know that $14 is £10, so $140, well, that is 10 times more dollars, so we're going to get 10 times more pounds, so that is therefore going to be £100. Question number 8. So Antonio works at a car dealership, and it's all to do with converting between stones and tons. So we need to complete the table. So what is 1 ton in stones? Okay, so 1 ton is here, and to me that looks like that is 2 short of 200. So we're going up in 20s, so that is 160 stone. 200 stone, let's find 200, and it's hard to see exactly where this cuts through, so I would say that is about well, let's have a closer look. Here's 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.2 or 1.3, should we call it 1.25 and split the difference? I'm sure 1.2, 1.3 will also be acceptable. Actually, I believe in the mark scheme they have written 1.28. I have absolutely no idea how you're supposed to see that level of accuracy, but anyway, 3 tons. Here, let's find 3 tons and go up to the line, and it's 2 short of this line here, or 3 above 400, so that is 460. I believe 465 is what they were expecting, but anything between 460 and 480 is fine. Let's have a look at the next one is 2 tons. So 2 tons, that converts to 300, and I'd say it's halfway between 300 and 320, so let's call that 310. I believe the mark scheme accepts anything between 300 and 320, which is good. And finally, we want to convert 400. We know that 200 is 1.25, so surely 400 is going to be should be 2.5, but then again that 1.25 might not be spot on, so we should, but as a rough ballpark we should be aiming for about 2.5, and if it is, then we know that we've got both the beta and the Citero ones correct. So let's find 400 stone, and I would say 500, just a tiny bit past 2.5, but maybe we should call that, well, we were aiming for 2.5, but I think it's a bit more than 2.5, maybe not quite 2.6, so maybe 2.55 is acceptable here. But apparently in the mark scheme, they've said 2.56. Again, I don't know how you're supposed to get 2.56 with that level of accuracy. So 8B, a customer asked to buy the lightest car the dealership has. So either we're comparing the weight in stone or tons, it doesn't matter. Weight in stone, 160 is the lowest, so it's the Toyota, which is the lightest car. And in stones, that's 160, and in tons, that is 1 ton. Question number 9, we've got hours along the bottom and minutes up the side. So how many minutes does Theodoros think there are in 1 hour? So 1 hour, right, we need to just check the scale here. So the hours, no problem, we're going up in ones, and up the side we're going up in hundreds. So here this is 50. So each line represents 10 minutes. So 1 hour is 50, one above that, so 60. So Theodoros thinks that there are 60 minutes in an hour. And of course, yes, he's correct, because there are 60 minutes in an hour. Use Theodoros's chart to find the number of hours in 180 minutes. So 180 is 2 down from 200, and that corresponds to 3 hours. Theodoros says my chart shows that 300 minutes is 6 hours. Well, let's take a look. 300 minutes. No, his chart shows that 300 minutes is 5 hours. So no, he's not correct. 300 minutes is 5 hours.